Did you know that failure is just what the doctor ordered? Hi, I'm Eli Stav with Project Eli, where we educate, lead, and inspire. And I'm going to quote something that I saw on a page of Babson College from Shannon Curran. We've all heard the stories like Steve Jobs was fired from Apple, Oprah was let go from her first TV job, Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school, Michael Jordan didn't make his varsity basketball team as a sophomore. These stories tell us that from great failure can come great successes. But can it work for the general public, or is this just something that happens to the Steve Jobses of the world? Well, Youre Yamakawa, a Babson College entrepreneurial associate professor known as Dr. Failure, says yes it can, and that's a good thing. When I read that sort of inspired me to think back with somebody that I'm working with. So I'd like you to join Eli and me as we talk about somebody I've been working with now for about 4 years, and I'm going to keep him anonymous. His name is JJ. Let me tell you a little bit about JJ. All right, JJ lives in Arkansas, the Little Rock area, and he's a relative, compared to me, he's a young man, but he's like in his 30s or so, and he hasn't had a whole lot of experience in the business world. And I came across JJ because both of us were working with financial securities, and he contacted me and sent me an email asking me about something. I didn't know who he was or whatever, but he left a phone number and I returned his call. My first question was, how did you get my name? How do I know you? Where do I know you from? And he was very candid with me. He says, I don't know, because we both contact a lot of people in the financial arena. And he just contacted me and we started a friendship. We started working together. And he's somebody that was working with these, financial bonds, and now he's moved on to financial instruments. And he was just starting out in financial instruments, a young man without really any kind of background at all, and just got into it and started calling people and talking to people and working with people. And he is somebody that is very, very driven. The fact that he contacted me via email and we started working together, started talking together, that was something I said, you know what, this is something that's good. This is something that's going to work out good for both of us, because I'm going to work with him, he's going to work with me, and we're going to partner up and we're going to make something happen. And he is such a determined person. But remember, he's his family, he's got a couple of girls, and he's got his, for all intents and purposes, spouse. They don't always understand. Remember, people in the 95% crowd are not going to understand failure. So let's talk a little bit about failure and why, first of all, why people don't understand failure. When you go to school and you're learning stuff, the teachers give you, here's the questions, here's the answers, it's black, it's white, there's no gray area. That's the way it is. They teach you what the objective when you go to school is. You want to go to school, you want to advance from grade to grade to grade to grade, and when you do, then you're going to put yourself in a position where you'll have this amount of knowledge and you'll be able to get this job and everything will be safe. That's the 95% thinking process. 5% thinking process is not quite like that. The 5% thinking process is, in life, you've got to take risks. You've got to go for the gold. You've got to make the move. One of the things that I just heard Mark Zuckerberg say was, one of the most important things about being successful is taking risks. And the worst thing that you can do to prevent you from being successful is not taking risks. Why? Because everything is constantly changing. And if you stick with the way it's always been and things continue to change, you're going to be left behind. So JJ has a very strong vision of he's going to be a very self-sufficient financial person. His big goal is he wants to have a program that he's already worked out. He's already worked out what he wants to do, where he has a certain amount of money, and the return on his money is going to be 50%, 100%, and he's got this all worked out. He's got this plan all set in his mind. All he needs is the stake to get going with it. So that's his big dream. That's his driving force. He can see that. He visualizes that. He wakes up thinking about it. He goes to sleep dreaming about it. That is his number one focus. All right, so let's go through some of the steps, because JJ has made it. So let's talk about some of the steps that he's had, the failures that he's had, because I want you to understand that, Eli, and I'm talking to you, the thing that I fear the most for you is that you're going to be a success and that you're not going to have any failures. And you know why I say that? Because if you don't have any failures, your success is only going to be about this big. Because anybody that achieves anything that is of anything substantial in the success arena has had failures. It's part of the game. That's the way it works. So let's talk about JJ. Now JJ, like I said, started off with zero experience. He just started calling people. He started talking to people. He started getting contacts with people. And and he puts people into categories, like this guy's a doer, this guy's a talker, this guy's a faker, whatever. So first of all, what you have to do is you have to identify the people that can help you. All right, so one of the things you're looking for are people that have experience, so that these people can give you some direction. Now, we've talked ad infinitum on this channel about the importance of having a mentor. That's one of the reasons why it's important, is you want to have someone that's had that experience, that's gone through what you want to go through, what you want to become, because when you do that, it expedites your journey. It makes it easier for you, because this person, for step one, find someone with experience, learn from them. Second step is to gather the knowledge. Gather the knowledge. Now, I've worked with JJ now, like I said, for 4 years, and if I tell you that he's put together 30 or so game plans with financial instruments that have all failed, you probably wouldn't believe me, but it's true. At least 30. Every time we go through, okay, well, this happened and that happened, and this guy said he could do this, but he couldn't do that. He couldn't be trusted. I didn't know that. I didn't know you needed to do this. I didn't know you needed to do this. So all along the way, he's failed at least 30 times, and I know this because I'm working with him on this. I'm even supporting him financially somewhat. He's failed 30 times, and what happens is every time he fails, there's something new that comes in here. He's gained some knowledge. And so I don't have a particularly good knowledge of financial instruments, but boy, is JJ is just, really, really sharp with it. And he's learning, all going all the way along. And here's what's happening, is every single time he fails, there's a moment of, for lack of a better term, mourning, like, oh, this guy did that. Well, let me tell you what happened here. Eli's dad, this happened or that happened. All right. And my job with him is to keep him encouraged, is to keep him focused, is to keep him where he's still has that vision, that dream, that burning desire, and to keep him from not giving up. And it hasn't been all that hard. Okay, he's had his moments. It's like, it's like as Dr. Failure likes to say, it's like a trampoline. All right, and in order to reach the highest heights, you have to reach the lowest lows. Life is like a trampoline in that respect. And here's the problem. Here's the issue. The issue is the people around JJ are 95%ers. Most importantly, his significant other, among other people, is someone's like, why don't you go get a regular job, okay? That type of thing. And he's got that burning desire, and that keeps his body in motion. That keeps him moving in that direction. That keeps him positive. And when I tell you that, like, for 3 or 4 years already, it's been negative, that's very, very difficult to overcome. And you're going to find that if you want to achieve a great success, like he wants to achieve this great success, that's what it takes. And I'm constantly reminding him, Like, the things that are happening to you are all the right things. You're having this failure, but you're learning something. You're taking a step forward. You're meeting a new person. You're making a new contact. All of these different aspects, all right? So experience, and then knowledge, and then, of course, what I just gone over with you is his resilience. My goodness, we talk on the phone every day virtually. He calls me on Christmas. He calls me, it doesn't matter. We talk every single day. He's got that focus, and I keep him and he keeps me. We keep each other. You want to have a workout partner. That's a good thing to have. But we keep each other on track. We keep each other, with the vision, with the dream. And it makes it real, and it became real. That's what's so exciting about this, is all the different failures. And I keep telling him, when people down the road are going to say to you, well, JJ, you're a big shot, now you're wealthy, now you have, self-sufficient, now you're doing all these different things with the money that, you're very, very lucky to have achieved that. And I tell him, lucky my butt, you went through all of these different steps to get to that position where you finally achieved what it was you achieved. That's what's so great about life, is you don't have to hit a home run every time you get up to bat. If you hit one home run, as Jeff Bezos tells us, one good home run doesn't just score 4 runs, which is the maximum in baseball. You can score 100 runs with one home run. And that's what JJ was able to do. So he had the resilience. The next thing is he had the growth. He was able to take these little failures and add them to his personal resume, his personal growth. Now, he's not doing stuff like reading this book or reading that book. That's what I'm doing with him, is I'm working with him, going over the success formula and keeping him on track. He's got the, 601B and the 38A and ledger to ledger and like all the different, terms that they use in financial instruments that I have no idea about. That's his job. That's what he does. He does that specific. And what he's done is and this is the key thing, is he's getting better and better and better and better at it until success. All right? Here's what he's done, is he's kept that vision, that long-term vision keeps him going, but it's the little focuses, it's the daily focus of the individual task at hand that takes you from being the pauper to being the prince. All right? And JJ is now a prince. And so having gone through those steps, those 4 steps, he's now at step number 5, which is value. Because now he's in the position where he's the one with the money, where he can do the investing, where he's the one that's going to see his dream come through. Because he's always telling me, I'm working with this guy, and I can't wait until we make our fortune. When we do, what's going to happen is I'm going to lose their phone numbers, all right, because these people gave me such a hard time and they were difficult and so on and so forth. He said, I'm looking for people that want to make deals. I'm looking for people that want to make things happen, not the wishers, wanters, hopers, and thinkers. I'm looking for the people that are the doers. That's who I'm looking for, all right? And JJ is a doer, okay? And when you, in order to get to that point where you have achieved that great success, there are always a bunch of failures. Our thought for the day, very simply, is from Winston Churchill. Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. And because we will never end our meeting on a philosophical note, let's get out there and charge! I'm Eli's dad.